Ladies and gentlemen, I'm currently dying of plague, but before I go out, I just wanted to make an emergency broadcast here because our niche here, PokeChain, I believe the bottom is in. So, folks, look, I've been fucking degenerate on gambling in crypto for years. Got into crypto in 2021 bull cycle, and I've seen everything come and go, and I've been in Pulse for quite a long time. But the reason why I've stayed in Pulse land is because certainly at this point, the risk to reward ratio is quite appealing. It is very hard to find a niche that has a very solid chance of outperforming the blue chips, and PulseChain's it, guys. PulseChain is the most undervalued layer one. PulseChain has a very good chance of catching up, flipping Solana at some point this cycle, and PokeChain, these Pokemon tickers, have an extremely solid chance of being one of, if not the leading meme narrative, meme niche this cycle. And we have some of the cheapest valuations. Like looking here at my watch list, I got going Pika here, the spear. It says 67 million market cap, but I'm pretty sure that's actually 6.7. It depends kind of how you measure the supply. But regardless here, these are super cheap bottom of the barrel valuations here. So we got Palmy, just 420k market cap, now at 400k. Ditto, just about 400k. So we're recovering pretty nicely here, and I just want to make a video saying that I think the bottom is in. One of the reasons why we saw, two main reasons why we saw this correction, this dip within this niche, is because number one of the major developers of one of the major coins within this niche, the Charmander developer, he was market dumping EEVEE, including other PokeChain tickers. That's why we saw a lot of these big red candles. So he's actually mostly out of EEVEE now. He sold his vast majority of EEVEE. Market sold some. That's why we saw these big red candles. Put up a sell wall and just has a couple $100 left. So that shouldn't be a problem at all moving forward. A couple $100, that's nothing. So I also wanted to make very clear here that some people have been pointing out to me, what about the EEVEE liquidity? Because if you look here, it says 2.8K. That's our Pulse X pairs. So we actually have a much thicker PulseChain pair on our 9mm, 7.4K. But a lot of people don't know that our thickest pairs actually are EEVEE Peanut Brain pairs. So if we go to PulseX here, we actually have 18K liquidity. So all together, we have well over, for EEVEE, a 1 to 10 market cap to liquidity ratio. If you consider all our liquidity pools put together, we have about 32K in liquidity. So that's actually an extremely healthy market cap to liquidity ratio. That's like around 1.5 roughly. That's extremely healthy. So EEVEE does have very good liquidity, especially on our EEVEE Peanut Brain pair on PulseX V2. So if you guys want the least slippage, I encourage you to use our PulseX V2 pair, buying up Peanut Brain and then going to EEVEE if that's what you want to do. That's the way to get the least slippage. Looking here, oh, by the way, so friend of the ecosystem, Peanut Brain, I started shouting these guys out when they were about a $2,500 market cap. And guys, by the way, keep watching here because I have some very interesting goings on in this PokeChain that I want to share with y'all. But just to quickly comment on the friend of the ecosystem here, Peanut Brain. Like I said, I started sharing them when it was a $2,500 3K market cap, somewhere around there. So I think from there to our peak, like over 10,000% returns. So that's what it's about 100x, little over 100x. So something very interesting. The developer has been working on kind of an ecosystem expansion with Hive. So they're building out their ecosystem here, and so I would just encourage everyone, financial advice, maybe this is worthwhile to add on your watch list. Because number one, it's the best way to get into EEVEE, least liquidity, and they're going to have an ecosystem expansion soon. Guys, this thing did 100x. I don't know what the next one's going to do, but I would just say keep this on your watch list. Check out Peanut Brain, because this is a super solid meme. I mean, like us Pulse, OGs, we all sacrifice, we all, believed in the twerking man. We're all Peanut Brains, really, guys. We're not, we're on the wrong side of the bell curve. So I like this meme personally. I think it's going places. Friend of the ecosystem, and they're having a an ecosystem expansion play soon with Hive. The developer is going to be putting on something new pretty soon. So pay attention here. But just to also comment on something else new that's going on that I was really looking forward to share with you guys is we recently had a brand new Poke Ticker launch, Dark Charizard here. So folks, when I first started talking about EEVEE, I kept pointing out how EEVEE was the top 3 most popular Pokemon of all time. Whenever you ask AI, ChatGPT, that kind of thing, it says top 3, top 5. Charizard was another one that was consistently very, very popular, one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. Now, there is another Charizard ticker out there, but that the dev is a little bit controversial, and he said some not so nice things about EEVEE. That's all well and good. But the reason why I wanted to shout out Dark Charizard specifically is because it's so fucking cheap. This is 29k market cap, and they actually have, I'm pretty sure they have thicker liquidity than this, because they where did they launch? They launched on PokeChain.fun, I'm pretty sure. And so yeah, that's a much better picture of the liquidity. So right here, about 13k. That's the one I'm talking about. So they have very decent liquidity. It's just about a 29k market cap ticker. So this is absolutely nothing. It's got burnt liquidity. And Charizard is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. Like, guys, there's some super cheap valuations right now. So I participated in this thing. I got in. I'm holding this thing because I really like not just Charizard specifically, but how cheap this is, guys. The valuation you buy matters. Which why for EEVEE too. Like I've started saying, like, guys, like EEVEE is probably one of the best risk to reward ratios on PokeChain. Like, again, I'm biased. I'm the dev. I want to see it do well. But we're sitting at 165k, and we're top 3 most popular Pokemon of all time. Peak is sitting at $67 million. Why is EEVEE not up there very close to that? Like when the market realizes the absolute gold mine of a narrative we're sitting on, like, guys, nothing's guaranteed here, but I launched EEVEE. Guys, look, you gotta understand, like, these PokeChain YouTubers and stuff, I'm sure at some point or another they've all thought about, getting involved with different projects, maybe launching their own ticker. The thing that made me feel comfortable pulling, the trigger on EEVEE is because I understood the potential. This is such a killer narrative. This PokeChain has the potential to be one of, if not the top, most popular meme narrative on PokeChain. And if PokeChain is eventually going to get close to, flipping Solana, something like that, guys, these cheap valuations aren't going to last forever. Bitcoin's tapping on the door of 90k, and PokeChain hasn't even seen a bull market yet. So I'm seeing some extremely cheap valuations here, and this is not going to last forever. Also, something else to mention, Palmy here. So I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Palmy and Electric and just explain what Electric is, because I looked into it. So with Palmy, once it reaches a certain market cap, I forget if it's 1 million, if it's 1.8 million. I think it's 1.8 million. Once it reaches a certain market cap, there will be an evolution, a new token, and you get access to that new token if you hold Electric. So, and in order to get that, you need, I think, 1 million Electric. Last time you need a shark position, and I think that's about $100, roughly speaking. So it's very, very cheap. So guys, keep an eye on this thing. Like I'm obviously not, I can't give you guys financial advice, but Palmy, like, it's about halfway there, roughly, maybe about a third of the way there. I think it'll easily get there. I think that's frankly inevitable. I think the fact that all of these aren't well above the million mark in terms of market cap is insanity. I think if the main blue chips are going to do well, then, and if this is going to work out, this has a chance of doing multiples on that. So that's why you go up the risk curve, because while things can be riskier, you get rewarded for that risk if it works out. Right? There's no guarantees, but I'm betting that this is going to be a leading meme narrative, and PokeChain's going to be very huge very soon. Like, guys, Gary Guzler, the Seaman Demon, I'm not sure if it's official yet that he stepped down, the head of the SEC. He's been one of the most destructive forces in all of crypto. He's gone. the Republicans, they're very pro. Trump is very pro crypto. They got the Senate, they got the House. These guys have a chance to finally change this massively anti-crypto sentiment that the Americans have had for years. And so there's going to be a huge change in the SEC. There's a very solid chance. Who knows? I don't know. It's all speculation here that the SEC might start dropping a lot of these cases. They might get their funding cut. They might have to. They're very likely going to have to reprioritize what they've been doing. So we don't know what's going to happen with Richard Heart's court case, but it's looking positive. All the new developments are all positive. And if we get, a dismissal in the coming months, some kind of settlement in the coming months within the next year or so, I don't know. Guys, PokeChain is going to fly, and these valuations won't last forever. So this video is getting pretty long, but I just want to wrap up by saying I remember last bull cycle. if you were looking at like 10, 20, $30 million market cap coins, that was like, oh boys, like we're really going high up the risk curve now. Like I'm really taking a lot of risks. Like, oh, I'm touching like a $30 million coin. This is some low cap gem, high risk play, guys. And we're looking at $160,000 valuations for EEVEE, guys. So I think those kinds of valuations are possible in a bull market. And this time around, the market's growing. We're going to finally get mainstream adoption. If the Richard Heart case gets dismissed, guys, if the stars line up, then we're going to see, larger valuations than what we saw last time. So while there's no guarantees, it's my bet that this has a good chance of being, a leading meme narrative. And I think EEVEE's probably one of the best risk to reward ratios out there. Again, I'm biased, but we got plenty of options to check out, whatever you guys like. Dark Charizard seems to be super cheap, and if you are interested in getting in on EEVEE, guys, in the EEVEE peanut brittle pair is our thickest pair right here. So, folks, like, subscribe. Until next time, take care.